Imagine this. You're settling into your workday, coffee in hand, scrolling through your inbox. An email catches your eye. It's from your bank, alerting you to suspicious activity on your account. You hesitate for a moment, but the thought of your account being compromised outweighs your caution. You click the link, expecting to be redirected to your bank's website.
Little do you know, you've just taken the bait in a carefully crafted phishing attack. As you hit the enter key, a silent victory unfolds on the other end of the internet.
They may drain your bank account, make fraudulent purchases, or hold your data hostage for ransom.
What started as a seemingly innocuous click has spiraled into a nightmare. Phishing attacks prey on our inherent trust in digital communication, exploiting our vulnerabilities for illicit gain.
These attacks target individuals, businesses, and governments, leaving a trail of financial losses and compromised data.
The impact of phishing attacks extends far beyond individual victims. In 2023 alone, phishing attacks cost companies an estimated $20 billion. But the true cost of phishing goes beyond monetary losses. It erodes trust in online communication, forcing individuals and organizations to navigate the digital landscape with caution. This is the reality of phishing, a silent epidemic sweeping across the digital world. Phishing is a type of cybercrime where attackers trick individuals into revealing sensitive information by disguising themselves as a trustworthy entity. These attacks typically occur through emails, text messages, or social media messages that appear to be from a legitimate source. The effectiveness of phishing lies in its ability to exploit human psychology. Attackers craft messages that evoke urgency, fear, or curiosity, prompting users to act quickly without thinking critically. No matter how sophisticated our security software may be, it's ultimately up to us to recognize and avoid these digital traps. Phishing attacks come in various shapes and sizes, each tailored to exploit specific vulnerabilities. One common form is clone phishing, where attackers create an almost identical replica of a legitimate email. Another prevalent tactic is spear phishing, a more targeted approach where attackers gather information about specific individuals or organizations. Whaling focuses on high-profile targets such as CEOs or celebrities. Phishing isn't confined to emails, it has evolved to encompass other communication channels like SMS and phone calls. The consequences of falling victim to a phishing attack can be devastating. For individuals, compromised accounts can lead to identity theft and financial loss. Businesses face even greater risks, as a single compromised account can expose sensitive data. Beyond the immediate financial burden, phishing attacks can inflict lasting damage on a company's reputation. By understanding the tactics employed by attackers, we can collectively strengthen our defenses. To truly grasp the effectiveness of phishing attacks, we must delve into the psychological tactics employed by cybercriminals.
Phishing attacks prey on our inherent trust in digital communication, leveraging familiar logos and official-looking formatting.
They craft messages that evoke strong emotions such as fear, urgency, or excitement.
A subject line screaming "urgent account action required" can trigger a knee-jerk reaction.
To combat this threat, we must become aware of these tactics and develop a healthy dose of skepticism.
Cybercriminals are well versed in the power of urgency.
This tactic, often referred to as the urgency bias, is a cornerstone of many successful phishing attacks.
Emails with subject lines like "account suspension warning" are designed to trigger an immediate emotional response.
This manufactured pressure can be incredibly effective, especially when we're already bombarded with information.
The key to avoiding the urgency trap is to pause and take a breath.
Another powerful psychological tool employed in phishing attacks is the exploitation of authority and trust. Cybercriminals often impersonate authority figures to gain our confidence. Phishing emails may appear to be from reputable organizations like banks or government agencies. They use stolen logos and official-looking formatting to create a convincing facade. Always verify the sender's identity independently by contacting the organization directly.
The old adage, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is, holds particularly true in the world of phishing attacks.
Cybercriminals are adept at exploiting our natural desire for a good deal.
Phishing emails often promise incredible deals or free prizes.
This approach is particularly effective when targeting individuals with financial difficulties.
The key to avoiding these traps is to maintain a healthy dose of skepticism.
In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with information. This information overload can lead to cognitive fatigue, making us more susceptible to phishing attacks. Cybercriminals often target individuals when they're most vulnerable. They use techniques that exploit our tendency to rely on mental shortcuts. By reducing cognitive fatigue, we can strengthen our ability to think critically and make sound judgments. Section 1, the subject line, hooks and triggers. The subject line of a phishing email is the first point of contact, designed to entice you to step inside. Cybercriminals craft subject lines that are attention-grabbing and emotionally charged. They bait their hooks with words that play on our fears, anxieties, and desires. One tactic is to instill urgency, creating the impression that immediate action is required. Subject lines like urgent, account action required, or suspicious activity detected trigger panic. The fear of losing access to our accounts can be powerful. Another approach is to appeal to our desire for rewards. Subject lines like "you've won a free gift card" tap into our desire for something for nothing. The allure of a freebie can be hard to resist. Legitimate organizations rarely use such tactics. Banks have strict security protocols and will never ask for sensitive information via email. If a subject line seems too good to be true, it's best to avoid clicking. Section 2. The sender's address, a master of disguise. The sender's address is often the first clue that an email might not be what it seems. Cybercriminals use various techniques to spoof email addresses, making them appear to be from a legitimate source when in reality they're anything but. They understand that we're more likely to trust an email that appears to be from a familiar company, organization, or individual. This trust is what they aim to exploit. One common tactic is to create email addresses that closely resemble those of legitimate organizations, often using subtle misspellings, variations in punctuation, or different domain extensions to trick the untrained eye. For instance, an attacker might use surety@amaz0n.com instead of security@amazon.com, hoping that the recipient will overlook the slight discrepancy. Another method involves using compromised email accounts to send phishing emails. By gaining access to someone's personal or work email account, attackers can leverage the existing trust between the sender and recipient, making their messages seem more credible. This is particularly effective in spear phishing attacks, where the attacker targets specific individuals, often using information gleaned from social media or other online sources to personalize their messages. It's crucial to remember that appearances can be deceiving in the online world. Just because an email appears to be from a trusted source doesn't guarantee its authenticity. Always scrutinize the sender's address, hovering over the name to reveal the full email address, and look for any inconsistencies or red flags. If you're unsure, contact the organization directly through their official website or phone number to verify the legitimacy of the email. The body of a phishing email is where the real artistry of deception comes into play. Cybercriminals craft messages to create a sense of legitimacy, urgency, and emotional distress. They mimic legitimate emails, copying logos and formatting to create a convincing facade. The language used is often formal and professional to add authenticity. Urgency and fear are common tactics, pressuring recipients to act quickly. They might claim an account is compromised, urging a quick response. Links may redirect to fake websites to steal credentials. Attachments can contain malware, giving attackers access to personal data. Remember, legitimate organizations will never ask for sensitive information via email. The malicious link embedded within a phishing email is the final act of this digital con. It's the culmination of all the deceptive tactics employed. The attacker's success hinges on the recipient's willingness to click. These malicious links are often disguised as buttons or hyperlinks, designed to blend seamlessly within the email's content. Clicking on these links can trigger a cascade of malicious activities, compromising the recipient's device and data. In the shadowy depths of the internet, hidden from the casual web surfer, lies a thriving black market where stolen data is bought, sold, and traded like any other commodity. This digital underworld, often referred to as the dark web, operates beyond the reach of traditional search engines. It's a haven for cybercriminals, a virtual bazaar where login credentials, credit card details, and social security numbers are transformed into cash.
The dark web operates on a foundation of anonymity, with both buyers and sellers using pseudonyms and encrypted communication channels. Transactions are typically conducted using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which offer a degree of anonymity. This clandestine environment makes it incredibly challenging for law enforcement agencies to shut down these illicit marketplaces.
From credentials to currency monetizing stolen information, cybercriminals monetize stolen data through various methods, turning compromised credentials into profits. The dark web provides a market for selling this data, with buyers ranging from individual fraudsters to organized crime syndicates. One common method is selling stolen data directly through underground forums and marketplaces. Another approach is using the stolen data to commit financial fraud. Stolen data can also be used for extortion purposes. Cybercriminals constantly evolve their methods, but the goal remains financial gain. Understanding these methods helps us protect ourselves and our businesses from their schemes. The ripple effect, the far-reaching impact of phishing profits. Phishing profits fuel a vast criminal ecosystem, threatening global security. They fund organized crime and terrorism beyond stolen identities. The dark web and cryptocurrencies obscure the flow of funds. Proceeds finance drug trafficking, human trafficking, and arms dealing. A coordinated global response is needed to combat this threat. Section 1. Building a human firewall, education and awareness. In the ongoing battle against phishing attacks, technology alone is not enough. While robust security software and sophisticated email filters play a crucial role in blocking many threats, the most effective defense against phishing starts with the human element. Building a human firewall, fortified by education and awareness, is paramount in mitigating the risks posed by these digital deceptions.
The first line of defense is knowledge. Educating ourselves and others about the tactics employed by phishers, the red flags to look out for, and the potential consequences of falling victim to these scams is crucial. This knowledge empowers individuals to recognize phishing attempts, make informed decisions about suspicious emails, and avoid becoming another statistic in the ever-growing tally of cybercrime victims.
A regular cybersecurity awareness training should be an integral part of every organization's security posture, equipping employees with the knowledge and skills to identify and respond to phishing attempts effectively. These training sessions should cover a range of topics, including the different types of phishing attacks, common red flags, best practices for verifying sender identities, and the importance of reporting suspicious emails to the appropriate IT security personnel.
Beyond formal training programs, fostering a culture of cybersecurity awareness within organizations is essential. This involves promoting open communication about potential threats, encouraging employees to report suspicious activity without fear of reprisal, and regularly sharing cybersecurity tips and best practices through internal newsletters, intranet posts, or even informal team discussions.
Remember, a well-informed workforce is a vigilant workforce, and vigilance is the key to staying one step ahead of the phishers. Section 2. Technological defenses, shielding your digital fortress. While human awareness forms the cornerstone of a robust defense against phishing attacks, technology plays a vital role in bolstering our defenses and shielding our digital fortresses from these insidious intrusions. A multi-layered approach combining various security measures is essential in creating a comprehensive shield against the ever-evolving tactics employed by cybercriminals. Email filtering solutions, often integrated into email service providers or deployed as standalone security appliances, act as the first line of defense, scanning incoming emails for known phishing patterns, malicious links, and suspicious attachments. These filters analyze various factors, including sender reputation, email content, and embedded URLs, to identify and quarantine potentially harmful messages before they reach the intended recipient. Antivirus and anti-malware software installed on individual devices or deployed across entire networks provide an additional layer of protection, scanning for and removing malicious code that may be delivered through phishing emails. These programs constantly update their virus definitions to stay ahead of the latest threats, providing real-time protection against known malware strains and suspicious files. Multi-factor authentication, a highly effective security measure, adds an extra layer of verification to online accounts, making it significantly more difficult for attackers to gain unauthorized access, even if they obtain stolen credentials through phishing. MFA requires users to provide multiple forms of authentication, such as a password, a one-time code sent to a mobile device, or a biometric scan, to verify their identity before granting access to sensitive information. Section 3. Vigilance is key, staying one step ahead of the phishers. In the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats, vigilance is not just a virtue, it's an absolute necessity. Phishing tactics are constantly evolving, becoming more sophisticated and harder to detect. Staying one step ahead of the phishers requires a proactive approach, combining technological defenses with a healthy dose of skepticism and critical thinking. One of the most effective ways to stay vigilant is to be wary of unsolicited emails, especially those requesting personal information or urging immediate action. Legitimate organizations such as banks, financial institutions, and government agencies will never ask for sensitive data like passwords, credit card details, or social security numbers via email. If you receive an email that seems even remotely suspicious, don't hesitate to contact the organization directly using their official contact information to verify its authenticity. When in doubt, on the side of caution and delete the email. It's better to be safe than sorry. Remember, clicking on a malicious link or opening an infected attachment can have severe consequences, compromising your personal information, infecting your device with malware, or even providing attackers with access to your online accounts. Regularly reviewing your online accounts, checking for any suspicious activity, and updating your passwords is another crucial aspect of staying vigilant. Strong, unique passwords, different for each account, are essential in mitigating the risk of credential stuffing attacks, where attackers use stolen credentials from one account to gain access to other accounts. Consider using a password manager to generate and store strong passwords securely, eliminating the need to remember multiple complex passwords. The human factor, our greatest vulnerability, our strongest defense. The digital world offers unprecedented opportunities, but also a fertile ground for cyber criminals. Phishing exploits our trust and vulnerabilities. Knowledge is the antidote to fear. Understanding tactics empowers us. Fostering cybersecurity awareness builds a resilient digital ecosystem. Stay informed and think critically to outsmart digital predators.